Hi everyone, so as you know, Gaz is currently living on the Isle of Wight, but he's seen a bike that he quite likes and it's just down the road from me, so he's asked me if I can go and pick it up for him. So in today's video, we're going to be going over a few things you should look out for when buying a second-hand bike. See you in a bit. Now I've already been to go and get the bike. It wouldn't have been fair to have filmed actually picking it up. So I've got it here. Let's take a look at it. So here's the bike. It is a Rocky Mountain full suspension. Not quite sure of the model. I'll let Gaz say that on the video later on. So as I said, it's full suspension. It's 130mm travel at the front. Same at the back. We've got 27.5-inch wheels. We've got Fox 34 forks. We've got a Fox float rear shock, a SRAM NX drive chain, and a few other things which we'll go over in a moment. So when buying a used bike, it's always good to try and ask what the bike has been used for previously. And the person who bought this bike has told me he only ever really used it for canal rides, and the reason he's selling it, he felt like he had a little bit too much bike just for using on the canal, so he's actually replaced it with a gravel bike. So I'm expecting to find the bike in a pretty good condition if it's only really been used on the canal. Let's take a closer look. Okay, as you can see, the bike is in a really tidy condition. There are a few little scratches and marks on it, as you'd expect from a used bike, the biggest being this mark here. But I've had a really close look and it's just a scratch in the paintwork. It's not a crack or anything like that. Speaking of cracks, it's always good to check the joint points where the stresses are going to be on a bike. So that's the head tube up here, the seat tube, the suspension pivots, and just make sure that everything is in a good condition. And I had a really good look at this bike before phoning Gaz and deciding to go for it, and everything seemed absolutely fine. So let's have a little look at a few of the things that we need to check. So the first thing I've noticed is this chain looks like it's got quite a lot of slack in it. So let's put on the measurer. So chains shouldn't really go past 75% worn. So that's this middle dial on this chain checker. When they get to 0.75 wear, you should really be thinking about changing them so that it doesn't wear out your cassette. If it gets to the 100%, well, there's a possibility you're going to start to damage your cassette. And as you can see, this chain, it's at the 100% mark, so it's definitely going to need a new chain on there. However, Gaz is a mechanic, so I'm sure he can sort that out. Just want to point out as well, when buying a used bike, it's always good to see if the suspension has been well looked after. And as you can see, we've got some fluid on the shock here. Now that's actually a good sign. It means that the shock is not running dry. It's still got some lubrication inside it. And the same on the forks. If you compress these forks, I can't do it now because it's up on the stand, but if you compress these forks, you get a thin line of lubrication left on the stanchion. Again, that's a good sign because it means that the forks are not running dry. One thing the previous owner did tell me, he had the seat tube replaced. However, because he only really used it for canal riding, he didn't use the dropper post, so there is no cable currently running to the dropper. There's no lever on the bars, so we're going to fit that now. Another good sign of buying a good quality used bike is when the bike comes with its original paperwork and manuals. The previous owner has even thrown in the cable which he didn't fit and the lever for the dropper post, so I've got everything here to do this job.
I just want to thank Sea-Dog for sorting this bike out for me. Couldn't have done it myself, just don't have the time at the moment. As for the bike, why I've gone for this bike, it's a 130mm travel and you don't need any more in the surroundings on the Isle of Wight. It's the perfect bike. Cheers again, Sea-Dog.
Sea-Dog, come and work with us full time.
Okay, has it worked? Press the lever. There we go. Press the lever again. One functioning dropper post. Okay, so I've given the bike a once over. I've indexed the gears as best I can. The chain is quite worn on there, so that's never going to be 100% perfect. The dropper post is now fitted and working. Gaz is coming up from the Isle of Wight in a few days, so hopefully we'll take this out on a shakedown ride.
Welcome back to the Midlands, and I'm here obviously to see my children, but at the same time I'm going to catch a ride and go out for something to eat with the boys. I cannot wait. I haven't ridden Clint in ages. freaking excited, and I get to do it on my new bike. So stay tuned.
So welcome to the Clent Hills. Unfortunately you're not going to get to see this ride because that's not what this video is all about. But if you did like this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again next week.